Hello, my unstable angels. How are you? Are you doing good? Great. Love that for you. Today, we're diving into my tragic beauty eras. Okay, we're going to dip our toes into a few years of terrible makeup choices and questionable eyebrow choices. Maybe the highlighter existed a bit too much. Maybe not at all. Lots of silver and grays and cool tones. We're going to roast me. We're going to roast me real good, real hard. Real toasty, okay?
You still have your dignity. Oh, no, you really don't, do you?
But only because I feel like the woman I used to be, the makeup artist I used to be, is who made me today. And I want to share that with you because I feel like anyone who's just starting out doing makeup is really in a sweet spot, I guess, starting today, because the trends are so much more elevated than they used to be whenever I started wearing makeup. So you're kind of getting this really nice education for free online, and I was just out here winging it, you know. So raw dogging it, just no lube. Yeah. But please remember, when you're looking at these pictures, I was doing my best, okay? Was it good? Absolutely not. But was it confident? Unfortunately, it was. Okay, let's roll. Excuse my little pig ears. These are from the Peppa Pig thing at the mall that my kids went to this last weekend, and they brought back these little ears. I thought they were adorable, so I'm just gonna use it for a headband, so that's fine. Let's get into it. Everyone should be humbled every now and again, right? At least a little bit, kind of, maybe, sort of. We're gonna start out strong. So the first photo was in 2010. Now, I will say these brows are absolutely drawn on by a woman with all the confidence in the world and feared nothing. Not even symmetry, you know? Not even symmetry. Didn't fear that. I don't know. It was like the era of like caterpillar brows. We really just didn't know what we were doing, you know? It was just kind of that era when brows started to come back, but they weren't full quite yet. It was 2010, you know? It's before the brow renaissance. We're just out here doing Sharpie art with our faces, you know? Running rampant. The silver smoky eye, AB. It was giving, I got in a fight with a Wet n Wild palette, and the palette won, and I lost. And the fallout was a whole generational curse. Let's talk about the jewelry. Why don't we? That gothic kind of a cameo necklace we have happening right now. This is around the time that I worked at Hot Topic. I was really into, like, you know, skulls and bones and all that fun stuff, you know? This whole picture is just screaming, I write in my Lisa Frank journal and listen to Evanescence. Very, can I bum a cigarette? And have you heard of the used? That's what it's giving. It wasn't just a phase, Mom. It wasn't just a phase. And this next one is also circa 2009, 2010. I cut all my hair off. I was going through a breakup. It was bad, it was sad. It's just giving, I'll fight you in a parking lot, teenage angst, but not a teenager anymore. It's more like my entry-level smoky eye skills, you know? The eyes, that black eyeliner, man, my liner was so dark and thick. Pretty sure it had its own zip code. Pretty sure. This was also around the time that I started getting tattoos. So the little sparrow swallow tattoos that I have on my chest right there. Why did I get those? The world may never know. I was just kind of just living life, just very feral and loving it. My hand placement just gives it the right amount of glamour, you know? Right amount of femininity and the right amount of, like, je ne sais quoi. I don't know. That was when I really started dabbling and getting more adventurous with makeup. Still using Wet n Wild, you know, still using Wet n Wild at that time. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, listen, don't sleep on Wet n Wild, okay? They've come a long way. Give them some credit. But back then, you know, just using whatever I could get my hands on, whatever was least expensive because I was a college student. Tried to get my hands on whatever kind of like makeup I could. I used every paycheck for my Hot Topic. I even bought Hot Topic makeup. Look, Hot Topic had makeup too, okay? And it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. I'm sure I had an eyeshadow or 5 from there. But yeah, that was an era all on its own. It's whispering like, I may work retail now, but one day I'll be famous on YouTube for talking about makeup and mayhem. And look at us now. Look at us now. This one, just kidding. Ouch. This one, Blush has entered the chat. Blush Overload Barbie. I don't know what this is. The amount of confidence I had no business having. I didn't. I really thought it was something though. I really did. Thought it was something special. I thought no one else in the salon has their makeup like this, so I must be doing something right. Right? I don't even know if it's neon green, like in the inner corners, and then like a blue lid. Like I'm looking at it, like I don't really know. I can't identify specifically the colors. It's almost like a dark, I don't know. I obviously didn't know my eye shape either because it's so like arched. Like it was like this corner of my eye, like an arch this way. I don't really know what's happening. I'm looking at it like I'm just so embarrassed. I don't even know.
That's freaking embarrassing.
And then and you can't see my brows, thank goodness, because that was probably a freaking mess. And then the red lipstick to boot. It's Rainbow Fish meets Hot Topic is what it is. Actually, it's like Rainbow Fish meets like Hot Topic clearance bin. That's what this one is. But honestly, no notes. Iconic chaos. That's all it is. Iconic chaos. But I do remember this lipstick though. This lipstick was my favorite. It was actually one of my first more expensive makeup pieces that I ever bought. This one was made from when Calvin Klein had a line of makeup. I don't know if they still do. They called it CK1. I don't know if anybody else remembers that or not, but that was a really great, like, they were expensive, but they were really good. Despite what the pictures are telling you, the red lipstick actually looked pretty good on me. And I really liked the tone of it because it had almost like a smidge of pink. And it was really pretty. I thought it went really well with my skin tone at the time. And this picture does not do that justice whatsoever. I'm pretty sure the shade was called Wanted, and it was just so pretty. Peep the rhinestone phone case. Okay. What was that? What was that? Lots of bling back then, you know? Like just lots of bling in general. I really think we thrived on rhinestones back then. That was just like a thing. This was around the time also that people started doing hair feathers and the hair tinsel, and all of that stuff is trying to come back around again. And it's like, we've been here. We've done this before.
Is it tough to have style from a past era, or do you enjoy it?
So yeah, maybe, I don't know. It was a whole vibe, you know? The rhinestone phone case. I mean, what else do you photograph your clown beat with in 2012, right?
And I ran away with the circus.
Added a dash of pure delusion. And I was really proud of that. This one, you start to kind of see a little elevation happening. Just a smidge. This one is my grown and sexy era. It's my, like, am I gonna teach you art class or am I going to the club? Story about this shirt, okay? About this leopard print shirt. I saw this shirt at, it wasn't Maurice's, but it was kind of like Maurice's, but it was a lot cheaper back then. I don't remember the exact name of the store. The shirt didn't fit. It wasn't my size. I have large chesticles, okay? I have chesticles here. And so that's always been a thing. That's never not been a thing for me. I tried it on. It didn't fit. I was really bummed about it, and it was the only size they had. And for whatever reason, I could not leave the store without this shirt. I somehow felt like I needed this shirt. So this happened. And then I was like, this is fine. I'll just put a tank top underneath it and I'll tie it. So I could tie it around my waist, but I could not button it. Hence the red tank top underneath. I'm serving you. I'm spicy. I'm flirty. I may or may not do tarot readings in the back of this dive bar.
It's telling me that you really are that b****. Congrats.
The gothic cross necklace, the leopard print, the oyster shell earrings, it's all like a whole 2010s ecosystem in that picture. It's just a whole thing. Then of course you have the red lipstick again. Same red lipstick, because at that time I had the one red lipstick. That cherry bomb lipstick. I thought this lipstick was a total power move for just being a rebel without a makeup wipe, you know? This was in 2013. I was a part of this raw artist thing where you had a big show that just celebrated a lot of different artists in the area. They traveled to different states, I believe, and they had like a whole thing. I'm pretty sure they're probably still around, but they had models. I did hair and makeup for these models, and they paired you with like a designer. The designer would dress them, and then the models there was no dress rehearsal either. This is on site, creative on site. So that was a little terrifying for me, I'm not gonna lie. I did not know what I was doing because I was just kind of thrown into this like genre of clothing, and I'll find pictures of that and post the makeup I did. It was very 80s, very space women go to an 80s club. It was very much that. But the funkier the makeup, the better, and that was kind of the whole artistic freedom of it all, and it was a really cool experience. But that was around the time my artistry really started to evolve, and that was when I kind of started getting more into just wanting to do makeup and less hair. I look like I'm like waiting for someone to interview me about my time as a lead singer of a band that does Paramore covers only. In theory, you know, that's it. All in all, I would say this picture is I do burlesque on the weekends, and I will call you out using astrology. And honestly, still tracks. Here's the thing. I don't quite know with this one, like when this transition like kind of became a thing, because this is like my good girl era. This is like, I think this was fall 2014. So it was like a year after that last one. I feel like I was probably watching Mob Wives at that time as well, you know? So I feel like that was also a thing. The bump it energy is loud here. I don't care if you used one. This hair really did say, I might not be snooky, but I could be if the occasion called for it. And as far as like the makeup goes, the cool toned gray lid, like, I mean, I guess, you know?
I'm not really quite sure how I feel. It's a little weird.
I don't know. Like, there was no transition shade. It was just all gray. I had the confidence of dryer lint, I can tell you that. This was also around the time that I got my dermal piercing. I remember this. My dermal piercing was just such a random thing to do. I don't know. I couldn't afford a tattoo, so I went to the tattoo shop and was like,
stick a needle on me.
you know? Some kind of love, some kind of hate was happening around that time, because why did I get a piercing? What was I going through? I just got this piercing, and for some reason thought that that would be like my thing to do at the time. I don't really know. Babe, let me tell you something. I really thought that one single piercing was the moment, okay? Like, why contour when you can blind and confuse people with this face piercing? And fun facts, I actually still have the dermal in my face. Like, it's still there. Okay, at the time, these were relatively coming out as like a newish thing, I guess. I don't know. I hadn't really seen anybody that had it, but I just looked online at like different piercings, and then it was there, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna get that one. I did it and was told that eventually my skin would regenerate enough that it would spit it out. It has not. It is still, to this day in 2025, over 10 years later, is still there.
You're a fucking liar, Mike.
Still. Okay, but do you guys remember the lips here in this picture, okay? Do y'all remember the Bonnie Bell, like, lip smackers? Okay, was it vanilla frosting? Something like that. That lip, for when you wanted to look like a Bratz doll that just walked out of a tanning salon, that one, the vanilla frosting, That was the vibe. And it tasted good. It was pretty. That's what this is. That's what this reminds me of. That's not what this actually is. I don't know what this actually was, but that's what it reminded me of. I was like, take me back to my good old days. Which, by the way, that lip gloss from Lip Smackers now, the one I'm referring to from back in the 90s, is like $50 on eBay now. I should have stocked up. That's what I should have done. Ooh, okay, this one. So I leveled up a lot. This one was fall 2015. And this, you could definitely tell. I like the aliens came and got me, beamed me up, and gave me a lot of education on makeup, and then put me back down to earth is what this was. A pinup baddie looking like a snack and a half, you know. I was really loving this whole like Instagram baddie era. I really was. And man, matte brows, matte lips. Yeah, I love this one. And I love my dermal because it was different and no one else had it. I was just over here looking like, you know, crybaby Wade Walker, you know, with my little teardrop dermal. It was cute. She was cute. But the brows? Sharp. Those brows could cut a toxic ex out of your life and slice through a Capri Sun at the same time.
Your blade will cut.
This is when I discovered my love for like spiked brow pencil too. God, that pencil is everything. I went a little heavy-handed on it, but it was my first year working for MAC and I was really excited about it, okay? I wore all MAC everything, really. Liner and lashes off camera because I can't multitask. I can't talk and do it at the same time, so just gonna do it off camera. Don't judge. I have one major question about this picture though. Where the are my eyelashes? Because you have like the whole inner corner working overtime with the glitter, with the shimmer. And then it's like, I have intense eyeliner that could literally guide planes in for a landing. Where's my eyelashes? I mean, come on. But I was fully convinced that the pinnacle of luxury was just straight up pink matte lipsticks, because that was when the Kylie Jenner lip thing started coming out. You know, that was 2015. That was prime Kylie time is what was when that was. Everyone showed up at MAC because they were like,
Oh my god, I heard she wears this lip liner from here.
and then I guess, I don't know, she was wearing a MAC lip liner and lipstick combo, I believe. And then she decided, because everyone was trying to go get those combos from MAC, she's like, wait a minute, I could be making the money here. Then we had the Kylie Jenner lip kit revolution happen. That was a fun time working at MAC, but I'm pretty sure that this lip combo that I'm wearing right here is the Soar lip pencil with the Myrrh matte lipstick, and it was a vibe. I love a good nude lipstick, and that one just really was like chef's kiss. The whole vibe of this was like, I listen to Lana Del Rey and model full time, but spoiler alert, only one of those is true. I love Lana Del Rey. I can hear it. This baddie. This was COVID era glam beat, but honestly, she ate. I mean, yeah, I mean, it says I've got some places to be, but I can't go anywhere because COVID. It's like, if I'm gonna spiral mentally, I'm definitely gonna do it in chartreuse, because the greens were greening. It was a whole green look. You really can't tell too much because my eyes are open, but it was definitely like a green brown mixture. I thought it made my eyes look nice. My skin changed completely, after my third child. And that was kind of a weird like ocean to navigate, because I started getting rosacea pretty bad at that time. My skin was really inflamed. I'm sure part of it's gut health, if I had to be honest with you. It was a whole panorama, you know? But the lower lash line though is smoked the hell out. And I look like I just binge watched like a lot of Tiger King, that whole saga for like 12 hours, woke up and came out inspired. I could have a body with a tiger, and I know how to blend. You know, it was that was a whole era all on its own. Carol back. Husband whacked. That was a whole time, wasn't it? The lashes are actually pretty dramatic at the time. At the time, I felt like the lashes were pretty dramatic. And I feel like they could have had their own stimulus check. The brows were like more tame. They were more like calm, cool, collected. This is around the same time. Okay, so like 2021, when everyone was kind of getting back out into the world, I started working again. It was still like a very hot topic to go out and do anything in 2021. It was still very like, people still had opinions and things, but listen, your girl had to work, okay? Your girl's got bills to pay. And my husband was working 12 to 14 hour days, and we could still barely afford to pay our rent at that time. And so it was like, yeah, I needed to go back to work. I needed to do something. I was actually working my makeup business at that time. People were starting to come out of the pandemic, and they were starting to kind of do like weddings and all that kind of stuff again. And so as people felt more confident doing it, they were looking for vendors that were comfortable working. And I still wore a mask. I still remember like doing all of the things to make my clients feel comfortable. You know, I didn't want to be problematic. I'm not trying to be that, you know, but like I needed to do what I needed to do to work. And if that meant that my client needed me to wear a mask, I was gonna wear a mask. I didn't care, okay? I just did what I needed to do at the time. This look was peak pandemic glam. No one asked for it, but we needed it for our sanity. And maybe also for the selfies. And honestly, she snaps. We're not gonna hate on her. She was good, she's, you know. But I wanted to show this picture because you can see a very clear difference that the course of 5 years makes. Just in general, yes, we get older and things like that, but like, yeah, it's just a very big difference in style of glam. It was a good makeup time. It wasn't a good world time because, you know, the world was falling apart, but my makeup wasn't. Which brings us to our current baddie, our current era. All of these beautiful eras leave us with our final boss. This picture is my current profile picture on Facebook. This is a 2024 baddie who has seen some things and came back bronzed, blushed, brushed, and unbothered, okay? The overall glow and vibe is like boss villain energy. It's definitely a beat face. I'm emotionally stable. I have boundaries now. Do not test me. I will cut you out of my life instead of like cut you, you know? And hang on, I can't talk and do lipstick at the same time. Hold on. There we go. That's better. Now, this is giving grown woman certified. Pay my bills on time and I will block you with no explanation. Like this is my current era. This is my adult villain era where I live my best life. Just do no harm, take no shit. I'm about to deliver a brutally honest opinion or compliment. We don't really know which one. Tattoos are on display like a warning label. The rings, little punctuation marks that say, yes, I know. I am that girl. That's what this is giving. And I feel like this is also what this makeup look is giving. I don't know, just saying. I'm really feeling like the dark lip was a good choice this time. I get to do something like this. It's a lot of fun, you know. But all in all, final vibe for this one. I've evolved past a beauty blender and I'm in my final makeup Pokemon form, you know? I look like I just read someone's entire aura and decided to spare them and hex them in on Wednesdays. That's growth. Just saying. Heavy on the hex men on Wednesdays.
The club meets the last Wednesday of each month.
If you're still here, thank you for surviving with me through that painful journey and that emotional roller coaster that we went through. So yeah, we've officially survived all of my full makeup evolution, from raccoon eyes and DIYs to this soft glam peace treaty. It's been a journey, a chaotic, glitter-filled, emotionally unstable journey. Would I go back and change things? Yes, obviously, but also no. Because every tragic blend, every aggressively matte lipstick, every blush overload, she built me. I am the woman that I am today because the past me has built me and gave me the courage to walk outside looking like that. Past me was just doing the best she could with what she knew how, okay? If you've got old makeup photos that haunt you, don't toss them. Don't delete them. Honor them. Frame them. Roast them. Honor her. That girl was trying her best and doing the most. Anyways, thank you for watching me humbly roast myself. Like, comment, and subscribe, pretty please. If you don't, I don't care. I've already cried this week, so it's whatever, but I'd love it if you join me. If you have any stories or anything like that you want to share, I'm open ears. I would love to know if there was a time where you might have had like a makeup blender and just kind of like wish you hadn't, you know? What do we think? Do we like this? Do we love this? Will we wear this? It's giving, I'm in my villain era, my vampy villain era. I'm a baddie and I know it. It's giving, let me water my flowers in the dark, though, because I'm a vampire. Don't with me, Brenda. Let me water my lawn. I'm gonna humbly roast myself. Ow! Okay, wow, cool, cool. No, ma'am, no, ma'am. It's not your time to shine, it's mine. That freaking fly.
Good night, everybody, and thanks for watching. Good night.